to hold a live webinar or lunch chat with you. And so if you can't hear me, if there's anything that I need to do to make it a little more understandable, please let me know. I am going to be very open to questions. Best bet is those of you that have attended my group sessions, this is another group session. So we can just get together right now via the internet, via this wonderful technology that we have, but it's the very same format. I'm going to share a little bit. We'll do some deep breathing, some visualization, and also I want to answer your questions because really this is about you. So please join in, play with me, okay? So are we ready to begin?
Yeah, they can type their questions to you.
Okay. I just want to start out with a simple statement, and that is that thank you is the most profound prayer one can ever utter. Today we're going to be talking about gratitude. And I just wondered if I could offer you an elixir of some sort that guaranteed you would have better health and well-being, that would encourage you to schedule your exams with a doc on a consistent basis so that you knew your health was being taken care of and watched over. If you knew with this elixir that you could have improved mental alertness, that you would have the stamina, the desire, and the endurance to get more exercise. As a result of this, you would feel more optimistic. You'd find stress, you could cope easily. You felt more sociable and engaged in life. If you noticed your immune system actually got stronger, if you found out that through this elixir you would fall asleep more quickly, you'd sleep more peacefully, and you'd awaken more refreshed. Suddenly you found you desired to eat healthier. Your risk of heart attack severely decreased, and your career improved. You found you networked better, that you were more organized, you had better goal setting. If you found that you were less susceptible to depression, anxiety, anger, and other negative emotions, what would you pay for that elixir? What would you do to get something that was that powerful and that magical? Guess what? It exists. And it all exists between the ears. That's right. Because that is what science has found is the result of an attitude of gratitude. Studies have been done on gratitude, and they have found that people who are more grateful, who practice gratitude, actually do improve their immune system. Their thoughts really are clearer and sharper, and that life is improved. So, how do you do it? What do you do? Well, gratitude is something, it's a choice, okay? I mentioned in a recent article that I wrote for the newsletter that gratitude also affects your weight because people tend to cheat on diets when they're not feeling gratitude, when they're feeling like they deserve some sort of reward because things have been tough. So they're going to do better. They're going to reward themselves in healthier ways when they're feeling grateful, when they're feeling good about what goes on in their life. So again, I go back to how do you achieve that? Well, I can give you the flippant, just be thankful. We get that all the time. Oh, there, but for the grace of God go I. And you're looking at someone's situation. The problem with that is that now you're comparing. And one of the worst things you can do for gratitude is to compare. It doesn't matter if you're comparing someone who has lesser situation than you, you're still focusing on the lesser. And if you compare yourself to someone who has a better situation, you're not going to measure up. We don't measure up. 9 times out of 10, we find that we're not going to have whatever it is we perceive the other person having. And I'm here to tell you that nobody really has it all. I've known people with unbelievable wealth, good looks, family. It seems like they have it all. And then you find out behind closed doors what their secret hurt is, what's going on in their world. Or I've known people who seem to have nothing, and you find out that they're so very happy. The bag lady who stands by the statue as the pigeons come down around her, throwing out her breadcrumbs and says, I'm so blessed, so richly blessed, because she has that attitude of gratitude. So what you want to do is begin to focus on what is going on in your world that is right. And I got to tell you, sometimes it's just the simple things. Living in Florida, we experience hurricanes. And sometimes with hurricanes, that means the power goes out. Boy, you never appreciate electricity, power, until your refrigerator's getting warm, or it's hotter than all get out because the air conditioning doesn't work. And what happens is, shortly after the storm is over and the power is restored, all of a sudden, wow, we've got that power, we've got the refrigerator working, and our food is cold, and our houses are a great temperature. And then after a few days, we kind of get used to it again. And that's because we have something called a confirmation bias, and that is whatever, well, excuse, I take that back. That is because we kind of Peter principle. Just like they talk about the Peter principle in work, where you get to a level of comfort, that's what happens when you lost something and now it returns, and all of a sudden you're used to it again. So that's now the norm. You want more. We always want more. Like that wonderful AT&T commercial, I think it is, where the little kids say, we want more, we want more. And sometimes their parents just won't let us have more. I love that. But it's true. We always want more. However, if we stay in the moment, we can love what we have now. If we're deliberately noticing the blessings in our life, then we're going to see more blessings. We're going to experience more blessings. And let's face it, for instance, with dieting, if you're feeling good about the things that are going on in your life, it's a whole lot easier to warm up a cup of tea and sit down and relax instead of wanting to indulge. I had a client share with me recently how she had had a particularly difficult day and told me the story of her trials. And by the time she was able to tell me about it, it was actually quite comical. But what did she do at the end of the day? Well, she was so focused on what had gone wrong, she sat down and dove into the cheesecake. Then she felt guilty. So she asked me, how can I cope with that in the future? How can I avoid that? And what we talked about at that point was, first of all, forgiving herself, loving herself, letting it go, and moving on. And we can talk about then what is right in our life. Sometimes it's just taking that nice deep breath, saying, what grateful for breath. Literally, when we breathe deep, our body slows down, we calm down. Gratitude is something that it's a part of our life that is like a muscle that we have to exercise. We have to continue to work towards gratitude because we are hardwired to go towards the negative. And let me tell you, complaining, well, it's a habit, and it's also contagious. Okay. Recently on the television live, there was the Sound of Music live. I loved it. I was just enthralled. Fortunately, I'm not a critic, because when I got onto social media, what I saw was one person after another finding fault with it, finding fault with something that had just thrilled me. And I understand that a critic is paid because of their knowledge, and they know all the technical side of the show, the singing, the voice of the dance, whatever. But what happens is it's like it becomes criticism on steroids. I'm really glad that I'm not a critic, because I don't want to focus that way. And that's where we have that confirmation bias, because whatever we think, we have to confirm in our mind. Our mind is this incredible search engine, and it's always looking for answers. And sometimes the answers are how we think things are. We're going to prove it. Maybe you've noticed, if you're out shopping for a car and you've never noticed a yellow Volkswagen before, now you've decided you want to buy a yellow Volkswagen, and you see thousands of them on the road. It's that confirmation bias. It's, oh, okay, they're out there and they're available, right? Well, it's the same thing with how we think. And if you're sitting in a room full of people and one person says, oh, I feel like crud today, what can happen? The next person will say, you think you feel like crying. Well, let me tell you what goes on in my body or in my world. And it becomes contagious, and everybody has to compete to have the most awful situation, the most crud, the most feeling bad, because it is so contagious. And we're going to that confirmation bias. Okay? We want to confirm what we're aware of. But if instead say, wow, I felt that way, I felt bad, and I really understand how that feels, I'm grateful, I feel good today. Now you're going to begin to look for how you feel good and how others around you feel good. And often that can become just as contagious. The people in the room with you can begin to say, you know, I had that same bug a week ago. Boy, I'm feeling great now. It's fabulous. Once you get past it and you really appreciate your health, I have never appreciated being able to eat whole food like I have since I'm done with that bug. There is something in the mind. See, the brain is actually affected by complaining and by gratitude. And there's something that goes on in the mind that is called a virtuous cycle. All right? So if I'm thinking gratitude, I'm going to confirm that. I'm going to recognize it in my world, and more instances of gratitude will begin to occur. And so then you can actually build on that and change that hardwiring. I talk with people all the time about the fact that we have this neural highway that we create in our brain with our thoughts. And the more we think a thought, the longer we allow that thought to continue, the stronger that pathway becomes. So until soon, it's like a superhighway. But you have 2 minutes from an original thought to change it. And when you do, now you're beginning to dig that new roadway. And if you've ever been on the highway and you've seen an old highway that's crumbled down and kind of falling apart as you pass by the new highway, nice and clean, traffic's going smooth, well, that's what our mind does because we have neuroplasticity. So I used to think that way, but stop. From now on, I'm going to think in terms of gratitude and create this new superhighway, this new neural pathway, a great way of thinking and being. We want to form it as a habit. As I said earlier, it's a muscle, gratitude, that we want to develop. And so one of the easiest ways that I know to develop gratitude is to keep a journal, to put things in writing. And I'm not talking about having to write for hours, but really, even just listing between 3 and 5 things each day that you're grateful for can make a huge difference. Putting it in writing, because what you think when you write becomes more concrete. It helps later when you want to go back and refer. Oh, yeah, I did appreciate that. Oh, yeah, that was good. And it also helps, just the physicality of writing it helps that neural pathway become ingrained with that new attitude. Another great idea is to get Post-it notes. I mean, how high tech can you get, right? But put Post-it notes around your bedroom, your bathroom, your refrigerator, whatever, even your office, of things that you're grateful for. On Monday, I had the opportunity to be out on the water and see dolphins. And anyone that knows me knows I love my dolphins. Well, I posted it on Facebook because social media, technology, it helps remind me there. But also, I've put reminders around my home of reasons that I feel gratitude, including time spent on the water, because to me, that always brings me peace. Time spent with the dolphins, because they always make me smile. So, a simple Post-it note can make a difference in how you feel. You'd have thunk, right? Um, Talking of technology, everybody has their cell phones these days. And these things are amazing when you want to use them properly. Because you can have pop-up reminders on your cell phone. You can have pop-up reminders on your computer that tell you, take 2 minutes. And I have clients that do this quite often. They'll take 2 minutes whenever the pop-up comes to just breathe deep. And as you breathe deep, inhale gratitude. Gratitude for the simplest of things. Yesterday, I had dinner with a wonderful girlfriend. And let me tell you, as we got caught up on all of the family doings and things that we've each been encountering and pursuing in our lives, and the holiday plans and the crafts that we were creating. It was wonderful. And I took some pictures and jotted some notes down so that later I could feel grateful again. And tomorrow I can be grateful again because I had that time with that girlfriend. I've been taking pictures every day of my Christmas cactus this year because I can refer back. I'm watching the progress and I'm so grateful for their beauty. I'm so lucky. But also, I can go back to those pictures through my phone and go, wow, nature's amazing. I feel really grateful. So on days that I think maybe I don't have enough, maybe my life isn't enough, and maybe somebody has more, oh, there goes that comparison thing again. I can pull out those pictures and go, you know, I'm really good with Christmas cactus. Mine are beautiful, and I'm grateful for that. So that's another way. Um, I met with another friend recently who shared with me that she's been practicing something called, from Hawaii, called Ho'oponopono. And it's something that I've practiced throughout my life as well, but it's something that's been new to her. And it's a form of release, forgiveness, making things right, and gratitude. And since she's been practicing the prayer, so many amazing things have come into her life. Now, she's a woman in business, in her own business. She's had some challenges recently, and we were discussing some of those challenges, and together did the Ho'oponopono prayer, reminding her of what she does have and what she's grateful for. Not less than 2 hours later, I got a phone call from her. She was so excited because one of the things that she needed for her business was to have her website improved and some social media work done. And an angel donor had called her. It was actually a company that does websites and social media, but an angel donor anonymously had paid for her to have $5,000 worth of work done on her website and promoting her. What a miracle. That's what gratitude can do. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that every time you feel grateful, every time you say, oh, I enjoy that Christmas cactus, 5 grand is going to drop in your lap or the new relationship is going to suddenly appear at the door. But what I am going to tell you is you're going to walk around generating a calm feeling. You're going to walk around feeling more grateful, more calm, more clear-headed, so that opportunities do open up to you. Opportunity can be knocking on the door, but you aren't going to answer if you don't hear it. And you can't hear it if everything that's cluttering your head is all the icky stuff, all that complaining and draining. It literally physically drains you. Think about it. Think about how you feel after getting together with someone and all you've done is complain. Your shoulders slump, your body goes down, your head hangs. You just don't have that energy. It's awful. But think about when you spent time with someone who's grateful, with someone who is in the moment, and how when you leave them, you know those people that when you leave them, they just feel so good? Very often, those are people that are grateful. Those are people that have that attitude of gratitude, and it's contagious. And it helps you want to exercise more, which gets you more energy. It helps you eat more consciously. When we're just stuffing food in our mouth, we're not grateful. But when we take the time to really enjoy it, sometimes that can be the best bite ever. I've done that in group with some of you, where we've had just one grape, and that grape lasted 5 minutes because we took time to look at it, to feel it, to roll it around in our mouths, to taste the bitter and the sweet, to really enjoy. And it was the best grape ever. Feel such gratitude. When you sit down at a meal, do you take a moment to feel gratitude for the hands that prepared it? For the farmers that brought the produce or brought the food to the market? Do you feel the gratitude to the market that was able to supply that food for you? Gratitude is amazing at how literally, physiologically, It changes who and what we are. So I'm going to challenge you to write down 3 to 5 things a day, every day, that you're grateful for. Whether it's the fact that your electricity works, or that you spent time with a friend, or that you have good health. I'm grateful for my feet. They may not be the prettiest feet in town, and they may not always look great in heels, but my feet have carried me on this journey. I'm able to get wherever I want to go because of my feet. And for that, I'm grateful. So that can go on my list. Now, the Ho'oponopono prayer, I want to kind of review that with you because it's so easy. It's so simple. It's 4 simple statements, and they are, I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me, and thank you. Then you're going to add to that, I love you, and you can focus on whomever you want. I encourage you to start with yourself. I love you. And then, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not appreciating my body. Or I'm sorry for not appreciating my talent. Or whatever it is that you've been struggling with or dealing with. I'm sorry I haven't appreciated that. Or I'm sorry I've sabotaged my body, I've harmed my body because I haven't allowed it to sleep peacefully. I pushed the candle or burned the candle at both ends, whatever. I'm sorry. And then please forgive me, body, for the behaviors that I've had. Forgive me for not exercising. And then thank you for forgiving me. Thank you. Thank you. And the words thank you are powerful. Have you ever noticed when you genuinely say thank you, how people respond? It's kind of like a smile. You can't give it away, they keep giving it back. So again, it's I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Okay, if we don't have any questions, then I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a moment of relaxation. And so, if you will, follow along with me and just roll your shoulders back and down. Because when we roll our shoulders down like that, we're letting our body know it's time to relax. Often when people breathe deep, they go as if they're pulling the air up from their belly, but they're sending a mixed message because while deep breathing will cause you to relax, those shoulders up says to your body, I'm stressed. So roll those shoulders down, take some deep breaths, and close your eyes if you'd like. Breathing in comfort and releasing. And just for a moment, feel gratitude. Gratitude for the chair where you're sitting, because that chair is supporting you. Or maybe you're sitting on your bed. Or maybe you're sitting on the floor even. Just feel gratitude for that you are able to sit comfortably. Feel gratitude for your feet and for your toes. Our toes that we're not always aware of it carry a lot of stress. So wiggle your toes. Thank you, toes. And let them relax. And then take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, just say thank you. And then I wonder, with the next breath in, if you could just breathe in the thought, I love you. Say your own name. And if you can't feel for whatever reason as though you love yourself, love that inner you, that child within you, the divine within you. Just breathe in and say, I love you, and repeat your name. And then take another deep breath in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the ways that I've betrayed myself. I'm sorry. With your next deep breath in, breathe in. Please forgive me. Forgive me for the ways that I have not treated you well, the ways that I haven't respected you. And then one more deep breath in, and thank you. Good. And while you continue to relax for a few minutes, I wonder if you could picture and imagine 3 reasons right now that you might be grateful. You see, in this moment, you have reasons to be grateful. Grateful for the air that we breathe, those deep breaths that cause our body to relax, to release and to let go. Grateful for the sunshine that we have enjoyed. Grateful for whatever it is that comes to your thoughts in your mind right now. Because I can't know, but you know, your powerful mind knows exactly what it is that you desire to feel that gratitude for today. And that gratitude is going to carry you forward through the rest of today, forward through the rest of the week, forward on this journey. One more deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes, stretch, wiggle, and feel fabulous. And I must say, I'm grateful that you shared this time with me today.